The Perfectionist.
You just spent 14 hours straight working on a presentation for work, and every single slide looks like it was designed by a professional graphic designer with a PhD in making things look pretty. Your research is bulletproof, your data is airtight, and your transitions are smoother than butter on a hot skillet. But then you notice it. A tiny misalignment on slide 27. Suddenly, your entire presentation feels like a dumpster fire wrapped in a train wreck. You're convinced that when you walk into that boardroom tomorrow, everyone is going to see right through you. They'll know you're a fraud, a phony, a complete and utter failure pretending to be competent. Welcome to the world of the perfectionist, where anything less than 100% perfect means you're basically a con artist in business casual. If you're a perfectionist imposter, your brain has essentially set the bar so impossibly high that even Olympic pole vaulters would look at it and say, yeah, no thanks. You could get 99 compliments and one piece of constructive criticism. And guess which one your brain decides to play on repeat like a broken jukebox? It's like your mind has a PhD in ignoring victories and a master's degree in magnifying flaws. The perfectionist sets unrealistic standards and then feels like a fraud when they inevitably fall short. You probably spend way more time on tasks than necessary, triple-checking everything like you're defusing a bomb instead of sending an email. And when you do succeed, you don't celebrate. You just move the goalpost further and wonder why you're exhausted all the time. Studies show that around 70% of people experience imposter syndrome at some point in their lives, and perfectionists make up a huge chunk of that number. The cruel irony is that perfectionists are usually high achievers who everyone else thinks are absolutely crushing it.
The Expert.
Imagine you've been working in your field for over a decade. You have 3 certifications hanging on your wall, 2 degrees collecting dust on your shelf, and enough experience to write a textbook. But when someone at a dinner party asks what you do for a living, you mumble something vague and change the subject faster than a politician dodging a question. Why? Because deep down, you're convinced you still don't know enough. There's always another course to take, another book to read, another skill to master before you can finally call yourself qualified. This is the expert imposter, and they're basically professional students trapped in an adult body. The expert measures their worth based on how much they know, which is a terrible idea because knowledge is literally infinite. It's like trying to drink the ocean with a straw. No matter how much you gulp down, there's always more. You probably shy away from applying for jobs unless you meet every single requirement on the listing, even the ones that say preferred but not required. You see a job posting asking for 5 years of experience, and you have 4 years and 11 months? Might as well not even bother, right? Experts are terrified of being exposed as inexperienced or unknowledgeable, even when they objectively know more than most people in the room. You'd rather stay silent in meetings than risk saying something that might reveal a gap in your knowledge. It's like your brain is running a constant pop quiz, and you're always convinced you're about to fail. The expert imposter needs to realize that nobody knows everything, and that asking questions isn't a sign of weakness. It's literally how humans have learned things since the beginning of time.
The Natural Genius.
Remember that kid in school who never studied but somehow aced every test? The one who picked up guitar in a week and was playing Stairway to Heaven while you were still struggling with Mary Had a Little Lamb? Well, plot twist. That kid might actually be suffering from imposter syndrome more than anyone else. Welcome to the world of the natural genius, where if something doesn't come easily and quickly, it means you're obviously a talentless fraud who has been fooling everyone this whole time. The natural genius bases their competence on ease and speed rather than effort. If you're this type, you probably breezed through school without breaking a sweat. Things just clicked for you. But then one day, you encountered something that actually required effort. Maybe it was advanced calculus. Maybe it was learning to code. Maybe it was trying to understand the plot of Inception. And suddenly, your entire identity crumbled like a cookie in milk. Because if you have to try hard, it must mean you're not actually smart, right? Wrong. But try telling that to a natural genius imposter. They genuinely believe that competent people don't struggle. Real talent doesn't require effort. So when they hit a wall, instead of pushing through like everyone else, they assume they've finally been exposed as the fraud they always suspected they were. It's like their brain never got the memo that struggling is literally just called learning. The natural genius needs to understand that mastery takes time for everyone. Even Einstein probably stubbed his toe on a math problem or two. The soloist. You've been staring at this problem for 6 hours. Your eyes are bloodshot, your coffee has gone cold 3 times, and you're pretty sure you've aged about 5 years. Your colleague Sarah walks by and casually offers to help. She's literally an expert in this exact thing. But instead of accepting her generous offer like a normal human being, you smile politely and say, "No thanks, I've got it." Why? Because asking for help would prove what you've secretly feared all along, that you don't actually belong here, that you can't do this on your own, that you're a fraud. The soloist imposter believes that asking for assistance automatically disqualifies them from being competent. It's like they think success only counts if you achieve it completely alone, preferably while climbing a mountain during a thunderstorm with no equipment. Accepting help feels like cheating on a test you were supposed to pass by yourself. If you're a soloist, you probably have a pathological need to accomplish things independently. Group projects in school were your personal nightmare. You'd rather drown than ask for a life jacket, because needing a life jacket means you're not a real swimmer. This type of imposter often burns out faster than a candle in a hurricane because they're essentially trying to do the work of 5 people while pretending they don't need anyone. The truth is that collaboration isn't a weakness. Even Batman had Robin. Okay, bad example. Robin was kind of useless. But you get the point.
The Superhuman. It's 6 a.m. and you're already at the gym crushing your workout. By 8 a.m., you've meal prepped for the entire week, answered 47 emails, and somehow found time to learn a few phrases in Japanese. You spend your workday being the most productive employee in the office, then rush home to be the perfect parent who helps with homework while simultaneously being an attentive spouse and a supportive friend who always remembers birthdays. You're also training for a marathon, starting a side business, and volunteering at the local shelter on weekends. And yet somehow, you still feel like you're not doing enough. You still feel like a fraud. The superhuman imposter pushes themselves to work harder and harder to measure up to their colleagues. But here's the catch. They're not just trying to excel in one area. They're trying to be the absolute best in every single role they play. Employee, parent, partner, friend, fitness enthusiast, amateur chef, part-time saint. It's like they're trying to win first place in every category of life simultaneously, and anything less than gold feels like complete failure. Superhumans often use the amount of roles they can juggle as a way to mask their insecurities. If I can do everything, then nobody can say I'm not enough, right? Wrong. Because there's always more to do, more roles to play, more balls to juggle, and eventually something's gotta drop. Superhuman imposters are basically running a marathon on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. The validation they're chasing doesn't exist because they keep moving the finish line. Burnout isn't a possibility for these people. It's basically a scheduled appointment. The comparison trap. You just got promoted. Your boss literally told you that you're one of the best hires they've ever made. Your coworkers threw you a little celebration with cake and everything. You should be thrilled. But instead, you're scrolling through LinkedIn looking at that guy from college who just became a VP at some fancy tech company. And suddenly, your promotion feels meaningless. Sure, you got promoted, but he's a VP. At 32, you're basically a failure in comparison. The comparison trap imposter measures their worth entirely against other people's achievements. It doesn't matter what they accomplish because there's always someone out there doing it bigger, better, and faster. It's like running a race where the finish line keeps moving because you're not actually trying to reach a destination. You're trying to outrun everyone else on the planet. Social media has turned this type of imposter syndrome into an epidemic. You're constantly bombarded with highlight reels of everyone else's success while sitting alone with your behind-the-scenes footage of failures and struggles. It's like comparing your rough draft to someone else's published novel and wondering why yours isn't as good. The comparison trap imposter needs to understand that success isn't a limited resource. Someone else winning doesn't mean you're losing. There's no finite amount of achievement in the world. It's not pizza.
The discount imposter.
You just landed a massive client that your company has been chasing for 2 years. Everyone's congratulating you. Your name is mentioned in the company-wide meeting. You're basically a legend. But in your head, it was just luck. Right place, right time. Anyone could have done it. The client probably just felt sorry for you. Or maybe they made a mistake. They'll probably realize their error soon and everything will fall apart. The discount imposter has a black belt in explaining away their own success. Every achievement comes with an asterisk. Got the job? They were probably desperate. Won the award? Must have been a slow year. Published a book? Anyone can write words. It's like they have an internal accountant whose only job is to audit their victories and find reasons to invalidate them. This type of imposter genuinely cannot internalize their accomplishments. Success feels like something that happened to them rather than something they created. It's like they're watching their own life from the outside and thinking, wow, that person seems successful. Too bad I'm not actually them. The discount imposter needs external validation like oxygen. But here's the twisted part. When they get it, they don't believe it. Compliments bounce off them like rubber balls because their brain has already decided the compliments are either lies or mistakes. Breaking free. Here's the thing about imposter syndrome. The fact that you worry about being a fraud is usually pretty solid evidence that you're not one. Actual frauds don't lie awake at night wondering if they're competent. They're too busy being incompetent and not caring about it. Around 70% of people experience imposter syndrome at least once, and it hits high achievers the hardest because they actually care about doing good work. The first step to beating imposter syndrome is recognizing which type you are. Are you the perfectionist who can't accept anything less than flawless? The expert who never feels qualified enough? The natural genius who panics when things get hard? The soloist who refuses help? The superhuman trying to win at everything? The comparison trap scroller? Or the discount imposter explaining away every win? Once you know your type, you can start catching yourself in the act. When that voice in your head starts whispering, "You don't belong here," you can respond with specific evidence that proves otherwise. Keep a file of your accomplishments, screenshot compliments, document your wins. Build a case against your inner fraud police. Because the truth is, you've earned your seat at the table. Now stop looking around wondering when someone's going to ask you to leave and start enjoying the meal.